Hi. Okay, so we are starting off another hardest reading challenge you've ever done vlog. If you don't know what it is, this is the bingo board. Basically every prompt in this video, every prompt on this board, we are either doing a video for or reading books out of a TBR jar. Today, we are doing the prompt to pick your favorite prompt from HRCYED round 1 or revive it, bring it back. So basically we kind of have a free pass in this one, which I like. We can kind of just pick whatever we want. And I decided to go fun, maybe fun, maybe not, but hopefully something we can power through quickly. And I'm going to be reading the 5 lowest rated books on my TBR. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, we are just gonna be reading the 5 books that have the lowest rating on my TBR. So I cannot do this for physical TBR. I only have about 8 books on it right now. And I mean, technically I could do this and just power through basically everything on my physical TBR. I don't really want to do that right now though. Most of these books I'm just kind of picking up as I feel like it, and yeah, I don't really want to force myself. And also I think a lot of them have a decently high rating, so it would kind of defeat the purpose that I want to go into this, which is reading terrible books and seeing if I can find something I actually like. So I decided to go to my general Goodreads page, and I have a want to read shelf. So basically anything over the years that catches my interest, I put it in there as wanting to read. And we went and sorted things to my 5 worst books. So yeah, basically we have 5 here that we're gonna read. We're gonna probably read this starting from number 5, going down to 1, which is the worst rated. But number 5, we have Wings Once Cursed and Bound by Piper J. Drake. Number 4, Haunt Your Heart Out by Amber Roberts. Number 3, Boys with Sharp Teeth by Jenny Howell. Number 2, The Last Session by Julia Bartz. And number 1 worst rated book is The Last One by Rachel Hall, and that has a 2.84 rating. So I didn't mention it, but the highest rated book in this is a 3.18, goes down to 2.84. So in theory, these are probably going to be books that I either really don't like or that I feel like absolutely nothing about, and will just be lowly rating because of that. So I'm really ready to dive into this. I'm really excited, and let's just jump to it. All right, so first book we're starting is our 5th lowest rated, so technically the highest rated, but still very low. I think it has like a 3.23 average rating. I'll put in what it is somewhere on the screen. But we started Wings Once Cursed and Bound by Piper J. Drake, something like that. This is an author that I've heard very, very mixed things about. I think she does primarily like paranormal romances or just something with different creatures in it. Typically that ends up being a genre I really enjoy. I love paranormal romances. I love urban fantasy. I find they kind of blend together. And I'm unsure how I'm feeling about this one so far. We are basically following our main character. Her nickname is Punch. She is a professional dancer and has long suspected that perhaps she isn't fully human. She's Thai and has been raised on these like mythological stories about different like creatures. I can't remember off the top of my head what this one creature is, but it's been long suspected that she is perhaps not fully human. When one day she gets to this dance studio, there's this like mysterious gift for her. It's these red shoes. She puts them on and thankfully no effect to her. But this other mysterious guy comes in and basically reveals to her that these are cursed shoes, it's like that myth of like the shoes that make you dance nonstop. That's basically what these shoes are supposed to be. And these shoes typically curse whoever wears them to dance until they die. For some reason, it's not impacting her, but she also can't remove the shoes. So she goes with this man to his manor. We find out he's a vampire, and he works for this like society that collects cursed objects and tries to collect all of them to protect the world at large. And we're now following her as she learns more about the supernatural world, trying to figure out what exactly she is, and trying to find a way to take these shoes off. Overall, I feel like I would say this book isn't bad per se, but I can definitely see where the lower rating is coming because I genuinely just kind of find it boring, and it feels like there is not a lot happening for what is currently going on in the plot. Also, the writing is like, it feels a little bit too detached. Like, it doesn't feel like you are really in the action. Like, it very much feels like you are observing the action from a different level, and you're not really, like, I'm not personally feeling invested about anything that's going on because of that. The characters also, like, I think we're definitely supposed to be feeling more for them I'm pretty sure there's a love story coming, and there's truly nothing that has made me feel any certain way. Nothing that is making me feel motivated to feel a certain way. Like, again, I just feel very, very detached from what's going on there. And yeah, I'm not really interested in what's going on. In theory, like, I could see this getting more interesting, but also just something about the writing and the way that I'm feeling uninterested and unexcited about a lot of it. I can see why probably the majority of the people who read this rated it 3 stars, because again, it's not bad. It's just very average. There's like nothing so far that's standing out that's making it like egregiously bad, that is making you very much dislike it, but there's also nothing that like really elevates it in any way. And I think that's very much where this writing is kind of coming, is it just very middle of the road. I'm assuming a lot of people who come out of it, just based on how I'm feeling too, is just feeling very neutral and just kind of feeling like no particular way. And yeah, I'm just like, I'm bored and I'm not super enjoying this. I can already tell this video is definitely gonna be a challenge, because I'm probably gonna come out of all these feeling like next to nothing, or feeling like very uninterested in a lot of what's going on, which is gonna be a problem, but we'll see. Maybe I will feel very upset about something and we'll have something entertaining to say. And I'm also going to really, really make a solid effort to not DNF any of these books. Cannot guarantee. There's a decent chance that, especially as we go on in these, that I will. But I'm going to really, really try not to, so we can get a full sense of what a lot of these books are. But yeah, so far, not feeling many good things. Not feeling much. I am done Wings Once Cursed and Bound, and I'm kind of teetering between a 2 and a 3 star. I might do 2.5. I think that there was interesting ideas. The urban fantasy setting of it, the introduction of a lot of magical creatures, things that I typically really, really enjoy in books, and things that always like draw me into a book as well. But I think that this one just didn't go far enough in anything, and it all felt incredibly surface level and just a very, very basic plot. There didn't feel like there was a lot of interaction between the characters, especially the 2 main characters who ended up forming the love interest. I think that there could have been significantly more built to actually make us like interested in this relationship, and like nothing on page really made me feel like it was a good idea for them to get together. I don't necessarily come out feeling any way about the relationship. Like, I feel incredibly bland, and I think there should have been significantly more world building, because again, you can do a general like urban fantasy. It's our world and there's magical creatures, but you still need to add more details into it. Even though in general we can say like our world is exactly what's going on, like it's our world, but there's this secret underside. You still need to tell us what that underworld is and give us more details about how these magical creatures operate. Like, there needs to be a little bit more there. I like the fact that we introduced, it was a canary, which is what our main character was. So it's like a Thai bird princess. Very interesting. Have never heard of that before. Interesting to be included in this book. But that was kind of like the most interesting part to me in some ways, is just the fact that it was a unique magical creature. And then yeah, the rest of it just did not feel fleshed out enough. So I don't know. So 2.5, somewhere around there. Wouldn't recommend it. Interesting ideas, just the follow through was not there at all for me. All right, we have read our next book, which is Haunt Your Hearts Out. This is, I guess, the 4th worst rated on my TBR, and it has a 3.14 average rating, 2,000 ratings, and I definitely see that. I see why it was not so good. I like this cover. I feel like books like this, they are so perfect for the fall time. And even though this wasn't very good, it would have been such a fun fall read. And I feel like I would probably recommend it for that. So in this story, we basically just have a bookseller who back in her teenage days used to do like fake haunting videos on YouTube. She pretended to be a ghost hunter and just like made up all these stories. And then somebody who does work for a ghost hunting company that does like documentaries on haunted places, they kind of start a romance and they team up to find some ghosts. This story was just uninteresting. Like, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. I just don't think there was anything happening in the story. I don't think there was anything in the relationship, because this is, of course, a love story. I don't think there was anything that was remotely interesting or remotely convincing that I should like them as a couple. It's supposed to be like a cozy romance. I don't feel like it was. I feel like it was just not a lot happening. And the male main character especially was so forgettable. He had no personality whatsoever in my mind, and like nothing that made it seem like this is a relationship to root for or something, anything convincing of why she would be so like obsessed with this man. He was just so boring, and I can't really get on. I mean, it just was not interesting that way at all. And yeah, it felt like absolutely nothing happened in it, and that is going to be my biggest complaint. So nothing happened. There was nothing in the writing that made me interested. There was nothing that kept my attention in any way, really. And it was just such a forgettable, bland book. I think like the cover is definitely the only thing that was interesting about this one. And otherwise, just the most boring thing ever. And this is why I see the rating so low. It just felt very bland. It felt very cookie cutter. It felt very like plot tropes of popular cozy books. And this is what you'll find. It's boring. It was all boring. Everything's boring. And yeah, I gave this 2 stars. I was so uninterested. All right, our third lowest rated book, Boys with Sharp Teeth. This is a 3.04 average rating, 3,000 ratings. And it's more like a dark academia fantasy vampire book, which I mean, based on the cover and the title, I feel like that isn't really a secret. Basically, we're following this student. Her cousin has recently died, and she thinks it's this group of students that he was involved with at this like prep school. So she steals someone's identity and manages to get to the school, and is now like really embroiling herself in the lives of these other guys or these other people to try and figure out why they murdered her cousin. Or because in her mind there's like no doubt she's 100% convinced he was murdered. She just needs to find the proof of it. I think the premise of this is interesting enough. Like, a student fakes their way into a school to try and uncover information, very dark academia sounding, and there's some things that definitely I could see going well, but at the same time, like I know this is not going to be a book for me, and it's not the low rating. It is the fact that it is YA, and also the writing is no means clicking in my head for me. It is feeling so incredibly disjointed, and I am not finding myself getting even the slightest bit interested in what's happening. And because of that, like I know I'm not going to be really enjoying this book. I'm tempted to DNF it. I'm going to try to keep going. We'll see. But I'm just really uninterested in everything that's happening. I don't think the mystery is particularly interesting. I don't feel like any of the characters feel distinct. A lot of them just have a very like broad, like this is the rich playboy, this is the nerdy girl who hangs out with them. Like none of them feel like they have distinct personalities aside from these general like stereotypes, and I'm really struggling to keep them straight in my head because of that. There's also like this group of students she's investigating. They are supposed to be like the most popular elite group, and they like immediately just accept her into the fold and like really have 0 questions asked about why this person is suddenly there and why they're asking all of these questions. Like they just 100% are like, okay, you can be part of our group now. And it's also just like so much high school drama. There's like all of these parties that just feel uncomfortable to read about, and high school stuff I don't care about. So I'm not really feeling like great things about this one. Maybe it will take a turn. Maybe there will be something that will get me invested, but I'm not feeling particularly confident about that at the moment. Okay, so finished Boys with Sharp Teeth. This wasn't good. It wasn't really good. Like, I don't think it even deserves a 3-star. I think it is much more a 2, maybe a 1. No, I reserve my 1s for things I actively hate, and I guess this didn't quite get there, but it was not good. It was uninteresting for sure. And I might be biased. Because I am coming in as a slight YA hater. I might be part of the problem, but also I don't think it was good. I really really don't think that this ended up being interesting in any way. There were just so many like gaping plot holes and just so many things that I personally don't feel went anywhere or that really had next to no follow through, and just a lot of things that were pointless to be in this book. It wasn't particularly well written. The characters weren't interesting, and the mystery itself did not end up being interesting either. So yeah, I didn't like it. 2 stars. It wasn't good. I think that I put a decently solid effort into it, but really could not get myself to finish the last session. So this one, we are following a woman who's admitted, well, there's a social worker and she gets involved with this case of a woman who's admitted to the hospital and starts doing this like investigation into her life and all of these things. And oh my God, I hated every second of what I did end up reading, which I think was about 30%. And I don't even know if I can necessarily pinpoint the things that I hated the most, but I can just say I enjoyed nothing about it. I did not like the writing. I did not like the speak of mental illness. I did not like the investigation that we were starting. I was finding it incredibly confusing also to follow the narrative. And part of it, this woman who was admitted to this clinic, she is an actress who, when she was a teenager, was in this very controversial film about having a relationship with older men. And just the talk about it was so gross. Like something about the way that this film was described and our main character's like obsession with it. It just felt so gross, and I really didn't want to continue reading it. I tried to get 30% in. I think it took me like 6 or 7 days, which is wild for me, and I have been dragging this so much. So I'm gonna say I gave it an effort and ultimately just could not do it. It's interesting too because I did read one other book from this author and I thought it was okay but not great. It was one I did a few years ago. I did a video like reading booktubers' worst rated books of the year, and that was one that I had picked, and it was okay. Like wasn't good by any means, but I feel like it was very okay and unmemorable. But this one just felt terrible. Like every part about it I hated and really could not have seen myself finishing or giving it any better than like a 1 star. Decided to just cut my losses. And yeah, we have 1 more to go. I'm not feeling hopeful. This has like a 2.7 rating on Goodreads and I'm feeling incredibly nervous about that. Friends, we did terrible. Honestly, the last part of this video ended up just being a disaster through and through. Because I'm going to come in and say I DNF'd the last one. And I mean, first up, that was the name of the book, and it's the last book in this video. So this has an average of a 2.7 on Goodreads, which is really concerning. I feel like there are very few books that I've seen through the course of my reading life that have this low of a rating. So of course, going into it, I was apprehensive and really did not expect that we would get anything good. And oh boy, from what I read, we did not. We start off with a character. She wakes up in this land, it's like a magical world, wakes up and somebody has stolen like her clothing, all of her items, and she goes into this town to basically confront the person who stole it. Also, our main character doesn't have a memory and doesn't really remember anything about herself. But she goes into this town and the writing was so insanely juvenile. The inner voice of this character was one of the most annoying things I have ever heard. Like, she sounded like a child and was so incredibly annoying to hear everything that she was thinking. I couldn't get past it. Could not do it. And just imagining the fact that we would be in this character's brain for another like 400 pages and having to see her inner dialogue of all these things, I could not do it. And the dialogue was very like snarky teen, like snarky sassy teen who's edgy and different than all the other girls. Like that was just the vibe I was getting. And no part of me thought that I would actually be able to not walk away without giving this book a 1 star. I don't even think I got that far in. I think I got like 15%. And I was like, I'm going to save my mental sanity and not push any further. So yeah, that's all we got in. And I am feeling pretty good about the fact that I decided not to go further. So with that, this video ended up being terrible. The 3 books that I did read, I gave them all 2 stars, and then we DNF'd 2 others. And I genuinely am coming out and I can't think of a single good thing to say for any of these. We could kind of say they did progressively get worse. My enjoyment did go down, so maybe this lowest rating actually did represent just how bad they are, because yeah, just every book I came out of it just hating a little bit more. So in terms of reading books that are rated lowly, yeah, these tracked very much. These are accurate. This is kind of exactly what I think you would expect from books that are this lowly rated. So with this we're gonna just end off this video. I feel like technically I probably should read other things to offset the DNFs that I did. I cannot put myself through that. But we're now gonna say we're officially done this HRCYED prompt and we are slowly making our way through. We are not gonna be getting this done in time for July when this challenge ends, but we're gonna aim for August. So just with this, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And hopefully I'll see you in a video very, very soon.